ice of the Danube. Kai looked out across the frozen river in front of them, shading his eyes from the spindrift with a gauntleted hand. Little to be seen there, even if the mist had cleared. In summer, one might see boats on that river, merchants coming to trade wine and perfume, furs and amber, or fishermen seeking some blessing from the river god that might feed their families. But the merchants came like thieves across the water, and the fishermen did not care to linger long. For the Danube was a border, and it was more than another country that lay across the water. It was another world. On the other side of the river, the Roman Empire. A chieftain's gold dripping from every woman's neck, a prize of iron in every warrior's hand. But more important than that, enough wheat and cattle to feed the clans twice over. For the Sarmatians, winter-starved by sickly herds and blighted crops, it was life that was over the water, life that they could almost reach out and touch. Almost. For across the ice the enemy waited for them, an enemy whose name was spoken as a warning to children, a bitter curse to a rival clan. Kai had seen that enemy broken in battle, their general cut open while he still lived, left pinned out and screaming for the carrion birds to butcher as a warning to his people. Still, they had come back. Another tribe, the Marcomanni, had burned fort and city, and carried the fight almost to within sight of Rome itself, and the legions had returned undaunted. A few years before, the gods had cursed the Romans with a plague that had piled the corpse fires high, had murdered entire armies, murdered so many that it seemed there could be no man left alive west of the Danube. Yet they were there in their forts, scarce 2 miles away, somewhere across the ice. For those were the men that it seemed not even the gods could kill. "We are the last ones left," said Kai. "What?" "The last people still fighting Rome. The Marcomanni are kingless, the Quadi pledged to Rome after the miracle of the rain, the Dacians—" Bahadur muttered a foul curse at that name, and Kai had no need to speak further of them. "There are none but us left to fight. What do you think that means?" Beneath his cloak and helm, Bahadur's face was unreadable. The touch of light on his eyes, was it anger or grief at the words that Kai spoke, words that danced at the edge of doubt? "That we shall have to win here today," the older man said. "If we are to eat this winter, if we are to be free, what do you think that it means? That our grandfathers should never have left Scythia? That our people should have stayed upon the Sea of Grass to the east? They would have come for us there too. A little later, that is all." "Better that we fight them now," said Kai, "or our children would have to fight them instead." A little cry at that, not from Bahadur, but from the rider behind him, a boy who huddled on his horse and shivered and wept. Too young for the war band, and drowning in his armour, it should have been another summer at least before he was asked to set his spear in the charge. But the ranks were filled with those like him, grey-haired men who could scarce hold their spears, boys who should have been herding sheep out on the steppe. It was Bahadur's son, Chodona, who shamed himself with those tears, and Bahadur put his arm about the boy and drew him close, whispering the wordless charms against fear that father might speak to his child. Watching them, Kai felt the coward's hope that the Romans would not come. Let them stay in their forts across the water, so that the boy might live to become a man. But already it was too late, for a sound was echoing across the river, coming through the mist. At first Kai thought it the bark and chatter of the ice, the echo of a distant storm that boomed and blew across the open land. But soon there was no mistaking what it was. Mothers whispered stories of that sound to children around.